Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel and welcome to episode 14 of Build the Terminator.
The Terminator, week by week, built the T-800, the killing machine that defined a generation. Easy to build with high-quality metal components. You can control sound, lights, articulated limbs, and LED eyes, and explore the Terminator universe. Build the Terminator, issue 1, just $1.99.
So hi and welcome back and welcome to episode 14 of Build the Terminator. We're starting to make good progress now and we're actually closing the gap on that 22 issues. So after 14 today, I'm going to do another 4, so bring me up to 18, and then there's only 4 left after that. Then I won't have any issues for a good couple of weeks, so it gives me time to bring it all together. I'm going to do a few different videos just to give you some previews of how things are looking and coming together separately to this, because I think it's quite important for you to get a better image, because obviously you can't physically be here, and when I'm doing part by part you can't always see how everything looks what I have here. So anyway, let's get started. So today we're going to be working on the right lower arm. We're using the issue from last, which was this part here, and we're also going to be assembling another finger for the right hand. So it's not too much to do today, but it looks like there's quite a bit there, quite fiddly I imagine, lots of different small parts and whatnot, but let's get started. So just before we get started, we're going to run through the parts that we're going to be using today. So as I mentioned, there are some parts we're going to use from previous issues. So first of all, we've got the lower arm, which we assembled in episode 12, if you remember. Then moving on to the hand, we last used this in issue 10. We're going to be attaching the right finger today. So I mentioned in the last video that I thought this was a small finger, but it's just part of an entire finger. So we have the other components here today to obviously make that longer. So it's the same length as these fingers on this claw. So that clears that one up there then. So moving on to the actual components themselves. So these 3 parts here, these are all the lower arm tubes. We're going to be connecting those up to this part. Then obviously we're moving on to the other components for the right finger. So obviously these parts here will be connected to that. And then there's all the connectors, the screws. We've got here, these are 14/4 and they are the 2x16mm screws with 1 spare. Then we have the 3, these are the finger connectors, these 3 here. Then you've also got 3 of the, just double checking, they are the bushes. So you've got 3 bushes here. Then also you've got the plastic tubes again, which will be used for connecting the fingers. So you've got 2 smaller ones there and 1 larger one this time. And then lastly we've also got some more of the knuckle connectors. So you've got finger and knuckle connectors here. So quite a few parts, but you know, not too much. And also it's recommended to have some glue and a cocktail stick again for this issue, because we're going to have to connect the plastic parts more firmly with the pins. So let's get started. Okay, so for steps 1 to 4, first of all we're going to take the component 14/2. This is what we're going to be using to attach to the previous issue's component for the lower arm, which is 12/1. So quite simply, we're just going to spin this round, and at the top you'll see there are some holes. We're going to be taking one of the bushes and we're going to be putting that in there, in one of the holes. And then also you're going to be using one of the long screws, the 2x16mm, and just push that through. And I'm just going to then attach the component to 14/2. So I'm just going to partially screw it on by hand, and then I'll start to screw it in with the screwdriver. So that should have enough on there. And there you go, so that's that first part complete. Move on to step 5. Okay, so for step 5, very simple, just literally going to switch it round to the other side and do exactly the same. So I'm going to take another bush and then push it through the top, like so. And then again, take another one of the long screws, push that through. Then I'm going to take my other component here and just screw that in by hand first before I start screwing with the screwdriver. And there you go. Step 5 complete. You'll see that they can move, but obviously they need to move, otherwise the arm motors and such aren't actually going to work. So that is that stage complete, and now we can move on to steps 7 and 8. So lastly, just as with the other components, we're going to take 14.1, which is the smallest of them of the 3, and exactly the same process. You're going to take another bush through the top, and then again another one of the long PB screws, and then you're just going to screw the last component on. Make sure I do it the right way up, that might help. And there you have it. There's the lower arm completed. So it's starting to take a lot more shape now. Now we can move on to the last part, which is the right finger. So step 10, final part of this this issue. So we're going to be taking the finger from the last issue, which was obviously issue 13. So that's already completed, and we're going to continue to put it together with the next components. So what we want to do, taking from issue 13, we're then going to put 14.5, so that's the new component, just underneath. And then we're going to grab one of the smaller pins that's going to go at the top, but underneath you're going to be pushing through that plastic tube again. So I'm just going to do that first. So I'm going to push that through, and taking the larger connector, which is 14.8, that goes underneath this time. As you remember from the fingers, we do up, we do down. Some are from the bottom, some are from the top. So just going to push that through. Okay, and then push that through the top. And as like last time, it's advisable to use a little bit of super glue just to allow the upper smaller connector to sit in there a bit more tight and snug. Just keep it all nice and neat. And this is a component 14.7, the little pin. So that's a small one. And that's that stage complete. So for steps 11, we're just going to attach the completed finger here. So all the components with 14.5. And you're going to connect it to 14.6, which is this part here. So this time again, you need the plastic tube, but we're going to put the larger connector from the top. You push that through the plastic tube. And again with the lower connector, the one that comes from beneath. We need to put a little bit of glue on that just to ensure that it sticks together nicely and it doesn't move. So I'm just going to put the first connector through the top. Okay, that's through, and then I'm just going to dab a little bit of glue at the bottom before I put the pin in. That should do it. It would help if I could pick it up. My hands are so sweaty. Okay, and I'll just hold that for a few seconds just to let them connect. That's step 11 complete. Now we can move on to step 12, the final step, connecting the finger to the hand. Okay, so step 12, the final step. Very simply, we're going to grab the plastic tube, the connector, and also the lower connector, the smaller one. And as before with the other fingers, we're just going to line it up like so. So you should see I'm just going to line this section here, so it's flat. And then you press the tube through with the connector from the top. So I'm just going to do those first. Okay, push that through. So you see it's the finger from the end, the second one in. Now I don't know why this one has a plastic tube, because none of the others do. It might be that they realised later on that this is a more effective method for essentially keeping everything firm and in its place. And I suspect that there may be a possibility that in future issues we may have to go back and revisit the other fingers, because they are quite flimsy at times. So let's see what happens there. So as before, I'm just going to apply a little bit of super glue to the bottom for the lower connector, just to keep it in there nice and neat. Again, if I don't lose it. And there you have it. That is the fourth finger attached to the hand. How cool is that? It's looking pretty good. Quite substantial. And that's that issue complete. So thanks for tuning in today again, guys. Apologies for the sound dip quality in the last few sections. Something happened to my microphone, not quite sure what happened there, but it's working now. So just to summarise, so for next week we're going to be working on the head, just another component for the side, and also the final finger for the right hand side. These are the parts here, and really looking forward to it. Hope you liked the video as much as I did. Really good fun today. Glad I got all this together. As you can see, I've got the hand, the lower arm, which at some point is going to be connected to the upper arm. Not quite sure how, but looking forward to seeing how that comes about. So anyway, if you haven't already, remember to subscribe, please like and comment, and I shall see you soon for episode 15.